Hello, everyone. It's Kevin Swayze here. This is the remainder of the lesson about LinkedIn from the class on Monday, December 6th, 2021. This picks up after the activity time where I asked you in groups to take a look around LinkedIn and explore a little bit. Esteban shared his LinkedIn profile and I shared mine, and we had some questions back and forth. I wanted to pick up from this point and have you thinking about how to make your LinkedIn profile effective. And to start with that, I'm going to remind you about the LinkedIn profile checklist, the one that's available for download in the course shell. I'm just going to share the screen for the profile. We talked about this. This is oriented towards students. It's information from LinkedIn. This is how the company says is most effective for students to get some traction and attention on LinkedIn. I'll leave this thought for you as you look through it. Certainly we talked in class about the photo that's helpful and a headline that tells people about what you're doing, specifically about what you're doing, not what you want to do. I would encourage you not to put something in saying, looking for employment. Everybody on LinkedIn is looking for employment. Use that precious space for something special, like cloud computing entrepreneur, something to describe what you want to be. It's about what you're aspiring to be, and then you support that whole story along through your profile. It's the same idea as your resume, only LinkedIn tends to put a little bit more shareability to it to make up a word. It allows your information to be easily found within a world of LinkedIn, which is all about search for keywords tied tightly to a specific job. So I encourage you to use the LinkedIn, this general profile idea, to work your way through it. Look for some wordings. Use some of the wording here to help you start the process. Your LinkedIn profile will change as you go along. So I'll leave that for you to refer to, and I'm going to stop the share on that. I mentioned in class assignment number 3. That's the LinkedIn profile. I'll talk about that again in a moment, but all of this information, just take some time, do one step at a time on your LinkedIn profile. And what I encourage you to do in whatever you do going forward with your LinkedIn profile, don't open up your profile and start typing on your screen. Because if your computer drops out, you lose your internet, all the work you've done disappears. I would encourage you to open up a Word document and take the title of the section you want, just type it there, and then work in the Word document, do your typing, your editing there. To me, it's an easier way of doing it. Run that little piece through Grammarly, make sure it's clean, cut and paste, copy and paste, and put that in your profile in the space, close it and save it, open it up, make sure it appears correctly, and then do the next step. One step at a time. Save in between every time. Unfortunately, I have lost information when I've been working to update my LinkedIn profile when it winked out. So that's why I encourage you to work on the side and then cut and paste in each time. It just saves frustration. And also it keeps a record of what you have online, and you can use that when you're working on your resume potentially. The information can cross over. When we're talking about LinkedIn, think about LinkedIn not like a resume, but think of it as a place where you can easily search for information related to finding a job posting, or other people that can help you in your job search. You can use the search bar in LinkedIn, type in the name of the job you want and see what comes up. Type in SharePoint Administrator Waterloo, for example, and see what job postings LinkedIn pulls up. That's one way of searching for jobs. But as I mentioned in class, only about 15% of jobs are ever actually officially posted. So you can also use LinkedIn as a way to find other jobs that are available but not advertised widely or at all. The fascinating thing about LinkedIn is it's not just the experience of somebody looking for a job that's powerful. LinkedIn is a very focused search engine structure. That's LinkedIn sells a service to recruiters for people who are looking for a specific person to fill a position. And so when you come into LinkedIn through that way, it's a different interface. It's a different way into the database of information. And the recruiters have a more powerful search availability to them, so they can tailor their search for specific keywords and job types, education, experience in specific locations. That's why I mentioned the importance of putting your location of where you want to find your work in your title. You may not be living in Toronto, but if you want to work in Toronto, I would encourage you to put Toronto as your location on your LinkedIn profile. You're trying to fine tune the availability of information. You will also find, as you may have remember hearing in class, that once you sign up to LinkedIn and you start putting some information in, LinkedIn will start sending you job postings. It will send and send and send and send them to you. And I encourage you to turn them off unless you really want to have that many coming at you. It's a choice to make, but LinkedIn will start sending job postings to you. What to think about, though, is think about the job that you want. What is your ideal job? And then start looking for job postings on LinkedIn that are very close to your ideal job. And then start looking in each job posting for keywords that are common in all of those job postings. Is it SharePoint administrator, manager? Use specific words that are showing up in job postings. First off, LinkedIn will send you job postings with those keywords. But I'd also say put those keywords into your own profile. I have been a manager of SharePoint operations, to use an example, and in that time I did this in the description. So when a recruiter goes into LinkedIn the other way, they can use the same keywords and they will find you and bring that information out for the recruiter to see. So you can look in, but you can also make sure that you're seen and someone can find you. That's a bit of the game and the mindset I encourage you to take when you look and think about LinkedIn. Use it to find things, but as well, make sure people can find you for the reason you want them to find you. It's both ways. And let me go to my next slide here. I showed this slide before, a number of connections. It's important to start building some connections on LinkedIn, because the more people potentially who can see your posts or your information, the more they can potentially share them. My experience with LinkedIn personally is that, yes, you can have 100, 200, 500 connections, and they have their connections out. But LinkedIn very much wants you to be active in LinkedIn, sharing information, because LinkedIn makes money by having people stay inside LinkedIn, sharing information and finding it of value. So that's the expectation. If you wish LinkedIn to help you, there's an expectation for you to help LinkedIn by sharing information, by creating content like any other social media. But it's in the world of people wishing to find employment, managing their image, and helping other people find employment. It's a sharing kind of world around the world of helping everyone find employment. So think about a networking strategy. Think about what is it you want to do? Think about your target job and then work and find information that takes you towards the target job so that LinkedIn can connect you with that target job potentially. So build a foundation of people you already know, your friends, your family. Mention it within there. Connect with them. Let them share your information. Coworkers, classmates. Keep track of classmates after you graduate. You never know where their jobs might go, and they may say, "Hey, there's a job over here. You want to come apply at my company?" You don't know. It's best to create the opportunity for that to happen. Use that search bar at the top. Put in company names. If you're curious whether somebody, say, works at Microsoft that you know, type in Microsoft and a hometown of something that's not, and just see what happens. See what comes up. Start searching, start experimenting, start looking. And you may find a couple of, oh, I know that person. And then you'd think about connecting with them. Think about someone in a similar employment field to you. You're likely going to have similar interests, similar position in a job, or a position that you would like to have in a job. Your friends at school, people you used to go to school with, potential clients or potential people to work with. Experiment, try connecting. However, it's easy to ask to connect on LinkedIn. Please do not use LinkedIn when it says the automatic, please connect, and just hit send. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. I do not reply to people and connect with people who just send me the automated button. They don't know me. I have no idea why they know me, why they're asking me, aside from they want me in the network. No. Give a reason why they should connect. And I'm going to show you one way of doing that right now. I'm going to stop this share and I'm going to call up the other share. But another example, and this is an example that is in the course shell. And it's called Sample LinkedIn Connection Message. And this is one from another instructor, and I saved it because I think it's quite useful. Let me share this right now. Okay, here we go. And I've got it on my side screen, so please forgive me when I look to the side. This is a nicely structured introduction because when you read it, it says, it gives your name, it repeats your name. You're introducing yourself to the person. It's as if you're saying you're meeting someone in person, but you're using words. And it says here, oh, I'm a nearly graduated from Conestoga College. It gives an idea of who you are and what you're doing. Oh, people start getting an idea of who you are. And this is the old title for the program. It's Cloud Management now, I believe is the proper title. This was the previous title for it. But just be current with your information. And this one talks about, it shows that, oh, I noticed in your profile you have 10 years of experience at such and such. That's incredible. You must have lots of lessons learned about managing a corporate taxonomy for a global multilingual organization. I would never use taxonomy. That's a little bit of a ponderous word, but in this context, Kate was probably being very specific in using words that would relate to her connection requests, interests. I would love to meet for coffee. We're both in the Toronto area. Do you have availability in the next coming weeks? That's one way of connecting. I personally would also potentially put a little bit of background information and say, hey, I would very much like to connect with you on LinkedIn, or please connect with me on LinkedIn. I would also end it that way, but don't just send what I would call a naked, empty request that's automatically generated. Always use the option of putting some other information in there to make the person who receives your message, give them something to make them want to connect with you. Not just, hey, would you connect with me? Why? Well, I'd like to connect with you because I'm about to graduate from the cloud computing program and I see that you've been a SharePoint administrator for 10 years. I'm always interested in learning more information about SharePoint, and I know I have much more to learn. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. Something like that. That one I just constructed right there as I was speaking, but it's giving a reason for the ask. Please give a reason for the ask for someone to connect on LinkedIn. Don't just be looking to collect people on LinkedIn. Look to have people on LinkedIn who you value and they can offer value back to you. I would encourage you, just like when you're using your LinkedIn profile in full, type out your introduction separately. Make sure it is grammatically correct and there's no spelling mistakes, and then cut and paste and put it over. And what you may even wish to do is you may have 10 or 12 different introduction kind of contexts or words, sections of words that all you do is slightly change for different people. The basics are going to remain the same. You're graduating, you're in cloud management, you're interested in this. You may be asking several people in the same kind of work. All you have to do is change the name and make sure any other details are different. It saves having to retype. And it allows you to keep working on and making that a more effective request every time. So keep a collection of your requests. There's no need to do it every time from the beginning. Join LinkedIn groups. Ask to join a group of people on LinkedIn that are interested and are in the world where you would like to work. And these are closed groups. You can join and you can follow the information. You can offer comments. You can ask questions in there, but always be helpful and be remembered. And you may see discussions that happen in there. Oh, there's now a job posting up at such and such company. Apply to this person or connect with me and I'll move it along. That often happens within groups. It's more of a safe place where people are more collegial and ready and really ready to help one another. But join LinkedIn groups that are specific to where you wish to take your career. You can join other ones of interest, but always make sure you have those key ones there, because being in that group also helps LinkedIn search connect you with a recruiter, because a recruiter may be wondering if such and such, this information, and this person is a member of this group. That may be the search along with your keywords. Give LinkedIn as many opportunities as possible to connect you with people who have job information for you. Share information. Use the newsfeed. There's always new content coming up in the newsfeed on LinkedIn. I'd encourage you every couple of days, go in there, look for an interesting story, offer a comment saying, this was my experience, or I don't agree with this. What do you think about this? Do that and share it, and then look through there and offer comments on one or two other posts of people that come up in your feed that are related to your goal for employment. Sharing, my understanding, the most recent version of sort of some statistics about LinkedIn, a third party public relations company trying to understand how LinkedIn is working. The most powerful way to get spread further within the LinkedIn networks is not by sharing the post, it's by commenting in the post with at least 10 to 20 words. Not just, hey, great job. LinkedIn doesn't want that. LinkedIn wants to have more to read. So there's more reason for someone to read that item that's posted. So think about comments under posts from people, and think of at least 20 words. Do not just say, great job, congratulations. No, that doesn't give you any benefit. Have about 20 words or a little bit more That's my understanding of the most recent version of LinkedIn algorithm to give you benefit. This goes to that consuming and sharing information. On your homepage, you will have options. I've circled a couple here where you can find things. Click on it. Oh, that's an interesting story. Share an interesting story. Say, hey, I didn't realize this. We just talked about this in class. Or maybe we should talk about this in class. Doesn't bother me. I don't mind. And maybe you can tag me, the professor, tag me in that so that I look at it and it comes to my LinkedIn. And then there's even more activity because I'll look at it and, oh, that's actually a good point. I'll raise that in class next time. It's a conversation is what LinkedIn is looking for. And that's the value you can get out of LinkedIn. So here are the key things to think about. Share content, create content, give feedback, and join in conversations. This is what you do after you get the key parts in your profile there so people can find information about who you are and then show that you're interesting when people come and see your profile page. And then this is the LinkedIn assignment number 3. Please open up a LinkedIn profile, get it started, and then start thinking about how you'd fill in one section at a time. Work on one section at a time. Otherwise, it's too much. Take some information you did from the activity last week, writing your resume or your career planning. Move some of that in there. Some of the experience you had, put it in there. Start filling the spaces. You will never fill all the spaces in LinkedIn. That's the truth about it. LinkedIn is a bottomless pit for information, but photo, headline, introduction, summary, which shows you in the best light that you are a solver and you find solutions. You make things work, or you put a number in there about how you increased something by a certain amount, or that you were given an award. Your schooling, join some groups, and share some information. That's the key to getting the most value with the least amount of work out of LinkedIn. You can spend all day long if you want on LinkedIn. I'm not saying that. I'm saying get the basic information in there and then perhaps spend about 15 minutes every couple of days. Go in there, look, share a couple of things, and that's fine. Be a little bit active. Put a timer on your phone because it is social media and it's easy to get pulled in and forget your time. Just do a little bit every couple of days over the next week and a half until the assignment is due at 11:59 on the 17th, the last Friday of the semester. So I'm going to leave this with you. I'll talk about it again in class on Thursday, but please start the process. That's the most important thing. It takes a while to get into the groove of LinkedIn and send out some requests. Build some people who are connected with you on LinkedIn. I'll be looking to that when I'm marking. If I only see 2 people, if I would really like you to have maybe 20 or 30, but start asking. And the more you look, oh, I'd like to connect with this person. Click, connect. Hi, I'm such and such name. I'm in Conestoga College's cloud management program, and I see you work in something. I would very much like to learn more about what you're expert in. Would you connect with me on LinkedIn? Something as simple as that. And you'll start getting some connections back with people in the place where you wish to work, in the environment, in that part of the business culture, or not business culture, but in your area of expertise. That's the connections to build. So at this point, I will say, we'll have questions. I'll take questions again on Thursday's class, and next Monday, we'll keep talking about this. Begin the process of putting content in your LinkedIn profile, one piece at a time, a little bit each day, a little bit every other day. The value is in the time. This is different than the earlier assignments where it was a one-time thing and you can do it once. LinkedIn profile, you get more marks if you put little bits of work on it over a longer time. And that allows LinkedIn to do some work for you, and you get more opportunities to connect. On that note, I wish you the best. I hope that you stay safe and warm tonight. I'm looking out the window and it's very snowy as I record this. And I look forward to talking to you in class again. Bye-bye.